Pruning Grapevines, Grape Video 20. Pruning is the first task in the annual cycle of vine management. Pruning can keep a well-managed vineyard on track, or pruning can be used to renovate an old or poorly managed vineyard. Pruning is the single most important vineyard task. Do everything else right, but prune a vine poorly, and the results are likely to be disappointing. This is a picture of a grapevine that was not pruned properly. Too much fruiting capacity was left on the vine, too much fruit that didn't ripen well, and the shoots did not grow very long, and many of them did not ripen well into woody canes. You can see the greenish color of them. And so no matter what the grower did through the year, when the vine wasn't pruned right in the beginning, the results were disappointing. And here is fruit that looks nice, but it is of poor quality and very disappointing to the grower because he cannot sell this grape and make a profit. Pruning has some similarities to an artist painting a picture. The artist must first learn some basic skills. What will be the surface on which the painting is made? Will it be canvas, paper, or maybe the wall of a building? What kind of paints will be used? How will they be applied? What size brushes will be used? How does one make the appropriate strokes with a brush to make the desired effect as shown here with a lovely picture of a little red boat with the sea in the background? How does one blend colors to get the desired effect as shown here? When the basic painting skills have been learned, then the artist uniquely applies those skills to make a lovely, unique painting as shown here. So too with pruning. The pruner first learns about tools to be used in pruning, learns about the structure of the vine, learns about the desired growth form of the vine, learns about any unusual circumstances that might change the approach to pruning, and then applies those skills to each uniquely shaped vine. This is a picture of a pruning school that was held years ago in the Finger Lakes region of New York. And these folks are learning the skills of pruning to apply them to commercial grape production in that region. Let's start with a definition of pruning. It is the removal of unwanted parts of a plant. That can change from time to time. The definition is the same, but our desired removal of unwanted parts of a grapevine can change from one situation to another, and we will talk about that. Well, this will be our approach to pruning. We will present 14 videos as listed here, and each one will present bite-sized pieces of information that will be readily digestible for you, so that we don't try to throw everything at you all at once on one big long video. So we think this will be a way that will make it come alive for you better by presenting information piece by piece on this very important topic for grape growing. The first 4 of these videos are the building blocks. They're the tools that you will acquire to prune a grapevine. But you won't know how to prune a grapevine after you've watched these 4 videos. You will be acquiring skills, and especially the very first one, number 21, is going to give you lots of basic skills. But the other 3 are the same, but don't expect that at the end of these videos you'll know how to prune a grapevine. No, you'll just have acquired the tools necessary to perform that important task. Well, then the next 4 will actually get into the pruning, and they'll cover different types of grapevine pruning at different stages in the life of a vineyard. From the time that you plant the vines in video 25 to the 2nd year of that vineyard, and then the 3rd year of the vineyard, and then finally mature grapevines. And when you have gotten through these 4, you should have a pretty good idea of how to go about pruning a grapevine. Well, then there are some other types of information that are useful when pruning grapevines, and these 2 will talk about the equipment and the clothing that you should consider when pruning grapevines. And then lastly, we have some special cases of pruning that you might want to consider. What happens if your vines are winter injured? What happens if you've taken over a situation where the vines have been abandoned for a long time? What do you do? Do you want to get into mechanical pruning? What about summer pruning? That's a whole different type of pruning than we'll talk with the other videos. And so these last 4 videos are sort of specialized cases of pruning, and we'll get into those. And by the end of this whole series, you should have a pretty good idea of the whole realm of grapevine pruning. Good luck. Well, people get satisfaction from developing a skill. Maybe it's making a good pizza, fishing, tennis, golf, or some other sport, cooking special meals, playing music, mastering computer games, riding a bike, and it goes on and on. For some, knowing how to prune a grapevine well provides a certain sense of satisfaction. Well, here's a barber giving a haircut, if you will, or pruning a plant in his office, and doesn't he look happy at his task there? Well, there is a real satisfaction that you can get from pruning a grapevine well, and we hope that this video series will bring you that satisfaction and give you a sense of accomplishment from knowing that you can indeed prune a grapevine very well. And we'll hope to accomplish that for you as we grow through this series on pruning grapevines. Well, we have to add that once we provide you with the skills to prune a grapevine, you're really going to have to practice those skills to really be a good grapevine pruner. And that's what's going on here in this picture of a grapevine pruning school in the Finger Lakes region that was held several years ago. So we'll work to get you up to speed on the technology of grapevine pruning, and then it'll be up to you to practice those skills to really make them your own. Well, that's it for now. In our next video, we'll talk about the basic skills of pruning. But until then, happy grape growing!